All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Welcome back to Laugh Track Pod. Welcome back and welcome here. I am Jerry Strauss, and we've got a real good one for you this week because we are talking to someone that we have seen all over the place for quite some time. We've watched her grow up. We've lived with her. We've loved with her. We've laughed with her. And she's here with us just in time for the Halloween season. Shar Jackson, you're here.
I'm here, yes.
How
And
are
we did,
you?
we grew up together, right?
We all grow. I'm saying, in a broad sense, we.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you hear that all the time? I mean, you're such a familiar face to people for so many different things that you've done. Do you hear people kind of say, I remember watching you when I was younger, like, and does that freak you out yet?
No, I actually love it. I think it's awesome that so many people consider me part of, like their childhood or their, adolescence or, puberty. That part gets a little weird. But outside of that,
I
I don't mind it at all.
Cool. Cool. I mean, and again, if Shar happens to be one of those faces that because we know that you know her, but if you're just trying to jog your memory of exactly where you know her, it might be from shows like Moesha. It might be from Good Burger, which is one of those movies that I don't know if anyone would have predicted that it would stand the test of time as much as it does, but I mean, I've got kids that just became aware of the movie and are super excited about it for the first time.
Oh, kids love that movie. Like I literally, when I go places, even today, little kids run up to me like, "Oh my god, Monique, Monique!" And I'm just like, "Wow, people are still watching Good Burger. It's crazy."
Well, it's crazy, and it feels almost like this is a really weird comparison, but it almost feels a little Forrest Gumpish. Like you've just been there for so many big memories and big,
Yeah.
projects and shows and movies that people remember. And I'm kind of geeking out about talking to you. I want to hit on like all these things. Some of these things I didn't even know that you had appeared on. So I want to cover them all. And of course, we're going to talk about your latest project, just in time again for the Halloween season, Celebrity Exorcism. I want to ask you first. I didn't realize that you were born in Boston.
Yes.
Now,
Dorchester to be,
okay,
exact.
so people don't really talk about Boston as sort of a breeding ground for the future stars of the TV or the entertainment world. How did that come to be for you? Is that
Well, I
something?
mean, they should. I mean, we've got some of like some super amazing people out of Boston. You got New Edition, you got New Kids on the Block. There's the actor Brian White. He's from Boston. Like, there's a lot of talent that came out of Boston, and I mean, and we're all hanging out on the West Coast now. So
Yeah.
I think Boston makes some stars.
when at what when you were a kid or whenever it may have come to you, did you decide you wanted to be among them?
Um, I think some things are just kind of destined, and it wasn't like I chose this industry. It kind of chose me. Like I've been doing this since I was 3 years old.
Hmm.
Um, and it all started from, agent seeing me with my mom at 3 and going, "Oh my God, that kid, I think I can do some stuff with her." And, not like in a gross way, but, um, but, but that's where it all started. And I started doing commercials, and I think by the time I was 14, I'd done like over 100 commercials. And
Wow.
then I was like, well, I need some more, more sitcom stuff added to my resume. It's good that I'm the commercial kid, but
Yeah.
let's see what else we can do. And so I think the industry just kind of picked me, which is kind of cool.
Was that kind of the thing back then? Because sitcoms in the traditional way you're talking about, and we cover sitcoms a lot, old and new, on this show. Um, but the whole idea of the sitcom with the laugh track, and that was such like a go-to back then, and it's not as much anymore, which is sad. Um, but was that kind of the natural progression from okay, I did commercials, now I'm going to get on a sitcom?
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely like the goal. Like if you could get on a show, then that means you made it. And we didn't laugh track. We had live audience.
Oh, sure. That's the way to do it. I mean, I want to talk about a bunch of these things. And of course, you have to start with your time on Moesha. That's probably, I mean, is that what people still remember you best for?
Absolutely. And I mean, the fact that it's streaming now on a couple of different platforms, like it's a whole new generation that gets to watch the show and enjoy it, and a whole new like appreciation for the show and the characters. And so yeah, I hear Nisi at least once or twice a day.
Do you look back on the show, I mean, in the grand scheme of TV, and think about how it kind of blazed a trail? I mean, in so many different ways, but I mean, I see my kids now, my kids are 7 and 10, but when you're a kid, you always watch want to watch kids that are a little older than you. That seems
Yeah.
to be
Oh
the
yeah.
thing, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, especially my 10-year-old, she wants to watch shows about teenagers and the stuff that they're going through. I feel like Moesha was one of the first to really have a focus on the teenager as a main character, and just going through life and relationships and all that stuff. Is that something that changed the game, do you think?
I think so. When we were filming it, it didn't feel groundbreaking to us. It didn't feel, we were just a bunch of kids having a blast, doing what we love to do. We're with our friends for 16 hours a day. It was insane. But little did we know that it would have such an impact on the industry, on, teenagers and young adults today. Like, it's so bizarre to me, how important that show was, because like I said, when we were shooting it, we did not know. We're like, we're with our friends, we're having fun, making some money. So
Right.
but I remember though, we touched on topics that are super relevant even today, and we would go places that other shows wouldn't go. And I think that's why we were as respected as we were. Like, we made it into the radio and television Hall of Fame. Like, that's so awesome,
Yeah.
So like I said, when we were doing it, we had no idea. We were just a bunch of crazy kids having a blast, and to know that we made that mark on the industry and on so many people's lives, I love it.
It's interesting because Moesha, when it first came to be, you think of it as, okay, it's a vehicle for Brandy. Brandy was somebody that, it was a name you knew already.
Right.
And I think back to, I mean, we had Karen Parsons here on this show a while ago.
Mhm.
And yeah, we talked about, obviously we talked about Fresh Prince, and we talked about, she did a movie called Class Act with Kid and Play. I
Mhm.
think it's such an interesting thing to be a part of a project like that, where it's almost initially based around the name value of the star or a
Right.
pair of stars. And you kind of had that with Good Burger too. Like, the whole thing was based around the established characters
Yeah.
um, that Kellen Keenan had. What was that like? Because you're kind of describing sort of more of a family ensemble kind of situation. Like, have you ever felt that kind of imbalance in power in anything that you've worked on, or has everybody been kind of connected?
No, I think it's always really been, rather cohesive, and yeah, there may have been a star leading everything, but I think that's how most things are. A lot of things, film, like even with films, like they get their budgets based on who their star is. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it's not. I've never felt like intimidated or devalued or anything like that. My job, I felt as a supporting, was to come in and be the best support system ever. And I think in my own right, that makes me shine. So it wasn't like I ever felt like I was competing or anything like that, or felt like I was in the background. Like, I felt like, even though, yeah, this may have happened off of a star name, the whole project couldn't come together unless you had this amazing support system. So
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
that's
Not a,
right. I say it all the time. Got the team.
oh, I thought I just made it up. Just kidding.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Uh, Someone's got to trademark it. May as well be me.
You know, right now, trademarking.
Thank you. Let's listen. I've got a list pretty long here of things that you've done, and I want to hit on at least a selection of them. I didn't realize that you had appeared on My So-Called Life, which is one of those
Oh
shows
yeah.
that also, I mean, short-lived, but life of its own, still more celebrated and respected probably every year.
Yeah, and some amazing people came from that. That was awesome. I did 3 episodes of My So-Called Life, and it was really, really fun. Like you said, it was short-lived, but it was incredible. I made some really, really awesome friends on that show. I was
Is
actually doing that the day that I got the call to come in and do Moesha the next day. They were like, "Oh, we
ah
need somebody to come in." Okay, I just wrapped here.
perfect, perfect. Um, do you I mean, at that time, so I guess time-wise now you're about to really solidify yourself in the sitcom world. But did you have eyes towards maybe moving towards more dramatic stuff, or was there a selectivity there, or were you just trying to work at that
No,
point?
I just, it was a gig that just happened to be awesome. I think every actor really doesn't want to define themselves as just one thing. And granted, yes, I was definitely a sitcom girl, but I think subconsciously maybe I put in the work on My So-Called Life to show my dramatic chops.
Demo reel material,
There you
right?
go.
The Oscar reel.
Yes.
Um, hanging with Mr. Cooper. That made me so excited to know that you were on. Like, that's such a random thing, but I mean that hanging with Mr. Cooper, and was that just one episode for you, or
No,
were
I think I
you?
did like 2 or 3 of those too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's one of those
that was a
shows.
beautiful thing. Like I would go to work for what was supposed to be, a one-time thing, and then they would keep me.
Good experience, positive
Oh yeah.
experience.
Mark Curry's still an amazing person and a good friend. Holly Robinson Pete, same. Don Lewis, like I love those guys. That's probably one of my favorite things about all the stuff that I've done in the industry is I've made some amazing connections with people,
Mhm.
and they have withstood the test of time. And I think that's what everybody kind of wants just in life. So to get it in my workplace, super badass.
Yeah, yeah, and super funny. Another one of those shows that you go back and you're like, man, I didn't realize just how good this cast was, like how tight
Yeah.
and how talented. Like that's the magic of, you know, when these things find streaming homes, is you can go back and watch, and um, it's pretty. I mean, obviously Moesha included. Like it's pretty easy if you didn't watch the show back in the day to kind of write it off as okay, it was just another one of those goofy comedies, like,
Right.
you know, Urkel or whatever, which by the way, we've talked on the show before about just how phenomenal and phenomenally performed Family Matters is. Like
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
underappreciated. But yeah, just really amazing stuff back then in that venue. Like you said, in front of live crowds. Is that I mean, I'd imagine the way you said it before, that's a big deal for you. That's a big
Oh, it's
preference for you.
huge. What? It's huge. It's instant gratification. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, it's amazing. There's no other feeling like, well, I guess like musicians will say that's like concert, you know what I mean? And comedians, it's me doing stand up.
All right.
But there is nothing like that immediate gratification to let you know that you are on track with your
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I also didn't realize that you were a part of the final season of Shameless.
art.
Oh
That
God.
was fun. I thought I was gonna be able to get like super raunchy on Shameless.
Mm.
I didn't.
The
But it was
disappointment
still
in your
fun.
face.
I was like, yes, this is my moment to be raunchy. No, I'm not raunchy. Okay.
This is Char's official public call to action for
Right.
Hollywood. Like this is now the new direction she would like to go in, everybody.
Leave me the
So
raunch. Out of control.
oh my goodness. Well, hey, we're our fingers are crossed that you'll
Yes.
find your way to some brunch reels.
Now my mouth is gonna be on the floor when I get the next script. Like, oh my God. Oh wow. You asked for it.
Yeah, you're going to be getting some real interesting calls in
Yeah.
the next few weeks.
Oh gosh, out of control.
Unbelievable. Um, okay, now here's a different thing, but I had to ask you about the experience. Celebrity rap superstar.
Oh,
Dude, this is I do not somehow I missed this show entirely, but
what?
I would have been all about watching this thing. I got to go back and see if it's still available somewhere, but it
I
was
can't find it
celebrities.
anywhere. So if you find it, let me know. But
Yeah.
there are a couple of clips. Like um, there's a clip of me doing overnight celebrity
Mm.
with like Twista literally sitting in front of me, like judging me. Crazy. But it's super awesome. And then there's a clip of Sebastian Bach and I doing oh god, what do we do? A Run DMC song.
That
So
sounds I mean, this sounds like a fever dream. Like this
what?
is
It was insane. It was insane. Never had so much fun in my life.
just Shar Jackson and Sebastian Bach. Yeah,
Yes.
they're putting out a
And now
mixtape
Baki's
next
like
week.
one of my best friends in the world because we
Mhm.
bonded so much on that show.
That's amazing. Is that something that I mean, obviously it's something that you're passionate about having done. Were you excited to get the opportunity to do it back then?
Yes. At first I was like, okay, so like I'm like a surfing mom from Orange County, dude. Like I'm not gonna rap. Like it's not gonna work out.
Right.
And my best friend who was Yvette Wilson, she was Andela Moesha was with me the whole time. And she was like my coach. Like I was Rocky and she was, she was my Apollo. She was like, listen, you got this. You're gonna do this, you're gonna win, you're gonna win. You're just gonna win. I was like, okay, well then I guess I'm gonna win. And I won. So
And you won. You won. You and MC Light was your mentor, right?
Yeah. Oh, Light was so amazing. She was such a fantastic coach. And, like I said, I went into that thing not thinking I could rap, but I am an actress. I am a thespian. So I convinced myself in my head that I was a rapper and
And
no one could tell me different.
and it worked out. It
Yeah.
worked out. Oh my goodness! I mean, this is what I said at the beginning of this conversation. We're going to be all over the place. There's
Yeah.
so
Let's
many
go.
things, so many things. Now, we got to talk about the new show, but I want to ask about like your feeling ahead of even knowing that this new show exists. Like, what's your relationship been in your life with the occult, with the idea of Halloween, with just scary stuff?
Okay. So I am a horror buff. Like I love horror and I appreciate the supernatural and things like that. However, as far as the supernatural realm goes, I always felt like, you do you, I'll do me. As long as we don't cross paths, we're good.
Right.
Um, I'll respect you over here. You just respect me over there. So to do something like this was bonkers to me because I actually feel like they pulled the okie doke. Like when when they contacted me about the show, they were like, "Oh, so it's called Celebrity Ghost Tours." So I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I can still kind of keep my distance, and maybe a psychic or something will take us to a few locations, and we can stand back and look at it, and she'll tell us the story and the history of the building. Perfect. I could do that. That is not in any way, shape, or form what happened."
Let's give people a little bit of info about the show. It's Celebrity Exorcism now,
Yes,
correct?
that is what it is called.
That
Celebrity.
is
Now, none of us celebrities were possessed, just so we're clear. They were not
okay.
exercising
Slight
us.
spoiler. Okay,
Yeah.
but let's just give them the skinny here. So we've got, of course, Shar. We've got Jodie Sweetin, of
Oh,
course, from Full House, who
yes.
has been on the show before, and Metta World Peace from the NBA. You guys are forming a bit of an unofficial DIY Ghostbuster trio,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
With the help of acclaimed exorcist Rachel Stavis, they dare to enroll in a paranormal boot camp before journeying to exorcise an iconic haunted location in Los Angeles. Does not sound like what you signed up for.
Not at all. I got to start reading that fine print, I tell you. Got to start reading it.
Unbelievable. So you guys get together. Now, first of all, before we even talk about the mission, did the three of you know each other at all before the show?
No. So, and it's crazy because, Jodie and I have literally grown up in this industry, but we've never crossed paths. Like, we know a bunch of the same people, but the two of us had never met. And when we did meet each other, it was magnetic, dude. I was like, I know you and I know you. And it's like we come from the same soul cluster. So we are stuck together forever. Like, I love Jodie to death. Metta, I feel like I met Metta in passing. I'm friends with a lot of NBA players, so I'm almost positive that we met in passing, but we never actually had any exchanges. So it was basically meeting new people.
Yeah. Okay. So you're thrust together, and then I'm going to imagine without a whole lot of warning, without a whole lot of time to
None.
nothing, no warning. There wasn't a retreat for you guys to
none of that. No, none of that happened.
And you're sent on this mission. And I mean, I've only seen clips so far of the show, but it looks like there's a lot of true, genuine terror, fear, panic. It's kind of a through line of the thing for you guys, right?
Yeah. We were definitely genuinely shooketh, as my child would say. Mom, you were shooketh. Yes, I was very shooketh, and I'm okay with that. I accept that.
And it's it's you guys splitting up, which everyone knows if you watch a horror movie you never should do. Even if you watch Scooby-Doo, you know not to do that. Like, there's lots of splitting up.
Have you ever seen Shaggy without Scooby? Not ever.
Yeah, but at the same time, Shaggy and Scooby are always the ones who are sent to go find the scary thing.
Yeah,
so you don't want to be Shaggy and Scooby, but
right? No, not at all.
I'm pretty sure at least one clip I saw you as Shaggy / Scooby. You were, and you guys have like the GoPros or whatever, like the cameras. So it's all right up in your face. This is genuine emotion that we are seeing as you guys are heading into the darkness and experiencing whatever the hell you guys are finding.
Yeah. I was praying to God. I was like, please don't let me have the Blair Witch snot come out my nose. Like, let's not do that, because that would be embarrassing. But yeah, no, it was some terrifying things that happened. And honestly, I think the entire show initially, when they put it together, was supposed to just be pure fear. You know what I mean? Just the whole thing was supposed to be that. But you can't put me in a situation that is frightening and not get some type of comedy out of it, because my reactions are real, is what they are. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows where we're laughing a bit at you, but certainly not with you, because you guys aren't laughing.
Yeah. No, I accept that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's fine.
It's fine now. Yeah. I'm home safe. Nothing came with me. It's fine. Yeah.
As far as we know.
Oh God, stop. No, I cleansed. I purged and saged and all of that stuff. I got sage burning right now. Just talking about it. I was like, we're not bringing up anything that doesn't need to be brought up. Sage. Thank you.
It looks really entertaining though. Are you happy in the end after the fact that you guys did this, that this show is now out in the world for people to see?
I'm so happy that people finally are going to get to see, first off, this new friendship and camaraderie and this bond these three people, have now, because they went through this crazy experience. And the fact that we actually went through this crazy experience. Like I said, I've always been a believer of, the things that we can't see. And my motto in life has always been, I don't know everything, so I don't doubt anything. And I was a little apprehensive of that world. I was like, I don't really, like I said, stay over there. I stay over here. We don't need to cross. Right. But after dealing with Rachel, who was the exorcist on the show, and learning the things that she had to teach us, I am more, I'm not going to say receptive, but I'm more understanding of the spirit realm, and I'm more respectful of it. And I'm not terrified of it.
So when is season 2?
I'll have to watch that because I won't be on.
One step at a time. One step at a
Right?
time.
Baby steps, damn it, baby steps.
Well, look, the show is from Fox Alternative Entertainment. It premieres on TUBI, the streaming service, which is Fox's streaming service, on October. It's premiered on October 22nd, so it's out, or it will be out by the
We'll be
time
out,
this is out in the world. So yeah, it's real easy to find, real easy to watch it, and hopefully you guys have a new Halloween tradition. Everyone can watch you scared out of your damn mind each and every year now.
Every Halloween. Seriously, if they ask us to come back and do it again, it has to be the same group because that's my team. I can't do this without them. We would definitely go check out some other places because Rachel would do all the heavy lifting.
That's fair. Very, very fair. Shara, this has been great. Thank you so much for going down memory lane and talking about all the cool things you've done, all the cool things you're yet to do. And we can't wait to watch Celebrity Exorcism. It's going to be awesome.
Be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Thank you so much for having me. I love the nostalgia and the future. So I love them equally, and I'm happy that we discussed it all.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for checking us out here again on the Laugh Track. Thanks, guys.